Good afternoon and a very warm welcome. You're watching Mirror Now with me, Pooja Rajput. Let's get started with some breaking news coming in from the Valley. And Kashmiri Pandits community up the ante in the Valley threaten mass migration from tomorrow morning. They say minorities in the Valley are left with no other option. Remember, this comes a day ahead of Union Home Minister Amit Shah's security review in the Valley. And this is the latest that we have on the ongoing protests that are being staged by the Kashmiri Pandits. Remember, this ultimatum by the Kashmiri Pandits comes amid a spree of killings of the civilians in the Valley. And in fact, in a very shocking and unfortunate development today, yet another civilian, a non-local, was targeted in the Valley. A bank employee, Vijay Kumar, was shot dead by terrorists in Kulgam in J&K. And tomorrow, in fact, Home Minister Amit Shah is all set to review the security meet. But here we're getting a big breaking update straight from the Valley that Kashmiri Pandits have threatened to leave the Valley in the next 24 hours. And I am being joined by Mr. Ashok Pandit, filmmaker, on the broadcast. Sir, a very good afternoon to you and thank you for your time to Mirror Now. A very shocking development coming in from the Valley. What do you have to say on this ultimatum that has been given by the Kashmiri Pandits now that they are ready to leave the Valley in the next 24 hours?
You're asking me?
Yes, Mr. Ashok Pandit.
Well, you see, this had to happen because since last 20-25 days, Kashmiri Pandits are on the streets shouting, screaming, howling, and raising their voice that please, for God's sake, reallocate us to Jammu or other places in the country. But the government has turned a deaf ear towards us. They are not even bothered to listen to us. And they have been very insensitive towards us. How did they start treating us? When we came on the streets after Rahul Bhatt, we were protesting and we had organized a condolence meeting and all that in Kashmir. They fired tear gas shells on us. They used water cannons on us. And then yesterday they locked our doors, our gates, and they sealed our lanes and bylanes in Kashmir so that we can't go out. What are we? We are prisoners, or we are terrorists, or we are people who are anti-nationals. How can a government treat us like this? And if at all you have to tell the world that the situation in Kashmir is fine, at our cost, on our lives, then there's a problem. Because if Kulgam, you lost Rajni Bala day by yesterday, how can you lose Vijay Singh today? What are the steps you have taken? Which proves that you have failed in saving a common man on the street there. You have failed. It's absolutely failure of the government. And I held the governor, Manoj Sinha, responsible for these killings of the minorities in Kashmir. And there is nobody responsible, nobody apart from him who is responsible for our killings. And this has to happen. People, see, ultimately it's your life, my right to live. Jobs and all are secondary to your life. If you are not alive, what will you do to jobs? So with a lot of respect and dignity, we have been asking, we have been requesting, we have been tweeting, we have been demanding that please relocate us. So nothing can move ahead till the time you don't reallocate us, those 5,000 employees, Kashmiri Pandit employees and employees of their communities back to Jammu and other parts of the country.
All right, Mr. Ashok Pandit, thank you for those views and thank you for your precious time to Mirror Now. So that was filmmaker Ashok Pandit, who in fact condemned the top officials in the Valley, including the Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha, that alleging that it's because of these very leaders and how they have turned a complete blind eye to the sufferings of the Kashmiri Pandits, that now the community has taken this call to migrate, to leave the Valley in the next 24 hours. And I'm being joined by Dr. Nirmal Singh, BJP leader, on the broadcast. Sir, a very good afternoon to you, and thank you for your time to Mirror Now. A very heartening appeal coming in from the Kashmiri Pandits there, where they continue to not just, assert their demand, but in fact now they have said, they've said it in clear words that we are left with no other option, quote unquote, and hence we've decided to leave the valley.
And that's all right, because everyone is in shock, and everyone second day life is being lost, and everybody is very sad about it. But I'll say that we are in a proxy war, and we have seen that the government is also trying to shift these people to the safer places, but that's taking time. That's why the terrorists they are taking opportunity and striking killing the minorities, the employees and other people, whether it's Kashmiri Pandits or other Hindus or Sikhs, they are doing it. That's there. But I'll say that even during that migration, then after 1990s, in thousands of the Kashmiri Pandits, they stayed back. That's there. Though they did it on their own risk, but they stayed back. Instead of this appealing to the employees to migrate to Jammu and other things, I think that the enemies of the country, Pakistan, seems to be succeeding its design, and that's the objective. But the government should shift them to the safer places. They must be protected. And till they are not provided with full protection, they should not be asked to go to their offices, which are not secure. There we agree. And government is undertaking. Government has undertaken this exercise to transfer them to the safer places. But definitely, it should not be taken as a move from all the people. So definitely. Those people who are resorting to genocide, who are for their ethnic cleansing, who are for forcing India, because this is India. Our security forces, our civil people, Kashmiri Pandits, other people, central government employees, other employees, they are India. And if we do this, definitely. Despite the fact, I know, because I have also lost my brother-in-law, real brother-in-law there in Doda. But we must think that instead of making it as a moment, let people who feel that they are not secured, they migrate to shift to some safer place, as till the time the person is provided full security. That's there. But it should not be made as a moment. That should not be taken as a moment, I should say.
But sir, this is not the first time that in fact, a Kashmiri Pandit, or let's just say a non-local in this case, in Vijay Kumar's case, has been targeted by the terrorists in the valley. And even last year we were seeing how a spate of killings had actually rocked the valley. And, this time, in fact, this is the 18th killing this year when we talk of the targeted civilian killings. So what measures have been taken by your party so far to ensure that, Kashmiri Pandits do not continue to stay in fear?
For BJP, it has not to be done by party. JP Nadda ji and other people. Government is there. I fully agree. And you have seen that our Honorable Home Minister, he had called a meeting, and he is constantly monitoring the situation. And the government, the Jammu-Kashmir government, has started the exercise to shift these people. The Kashmiri Pandits, other Hindus, even this Rajni. She was a scheduled caste candidate who was selected there in that district, and even central government employees, bank employees. So they are shifting them, but that's taking time. And these cowards, they are taking up advantage of that transition period and targeting and striking, because they know that once they are shifted, so they won't get a soft target. So they are succeeding in killing, which is very shocking, which is very sad, which has given a very, you can say, wrong signal to the people at large. But we must understand that we have to fight it out. It's a jihadi move. It's a proxy war imposed by Pakistan on us. Once Pakistan succeeded, was defeated for direct wars. So we have to change our strategy. Because secondly, I will tell you for your viewers that the enemy has changed this strategy. Earlier, there used to be terrorists. They had guns, they used to come openly and strike. And ultimately, they used to war. Now, these people, they are youngsters, they have been recruited by Pakistan and these terrorist organizations. They have no criminal record behind them. They are not in the diary of the police or security agencies. They are living in the same locality. So what they do
All right.
once they dominate the target and send him to do and kill him, only then he comes to the notice of the security forces. So we are finding some difficulty. The government is finding some difficulty to track them down and strike them. Once they do it, then you have seen that a number of them, they have been killed. But they have changed their strategy, so government has to change its strategy. And government is doing that.
All right, Dr. Nirmal Singh, thank you so much for your time to Mirror Now. And I'm also being joined by my colleague Sahil live on the broadcast, who's reporting from ground from Srinagar. Sahil, a very good afternoon to you. A very heart-wrenching appeal there by the Kashmiri Pandits. And finally, this ultimatum where they've said that we are leaving the Wali in the next 24 hours for, there seems no end to this misery, to these atrocities. And what is pertinent to note here is that, in fact, this ultimatum comes a day ahead of Union Home Minister Amit Shah's security review. So what exactly can be expected now that, the Kashmiri Pandits have given the strong ultimatum that do whatever you want, but we are leaving the Wali in the next 24 hours?
Well, in fact, these Kashmiri Pandit employees have been protesting since the day Kashmiri Pandit employee Rahul Bhatt was killed in Budgam district, in fact, inside his office in Chadura. These Kashmiri Pandits have been demanding that they be relocated, they be transported to Jammu region. But the administration is not willing to transport these employees to Jammu. In fact, LG administration has been assuring these Kashmiri Pandit employees that they will be provided safe and secure atmosphere. Now, today, in fact, we have seen another incident of target killing involving this Vijay Kumar, who was a resident of Rajasthan and was working in Kashmir Valley from last 4 years and was posted in South Kashmir's Kulgam district, where at the spot, and we'll just show you the images here. This is a small market area in Mahanpura village of Kulgam district. This is in fact rural area where this marketplace is existing, and then there is a residential house where in the ground floor this Ilakai Dehati Bank was functioning. Ilakai Dehati Bank is meant for farmers, for rural population, so the activity of this bank is very limited. We have seen the CCTV images wherein this one militant came on the front door of this Jammu and Kashmir, this Ilakai Dehati Bank, in fact, and then took out his pistol and targeted Vijay Kumar from a very close range, fired upon him. He received critical injuries in that very particular incident, and then he was rushed to District Hospital Kulgam. However, he succumbed to his injuries at District Hospital Kulgam. Soon after that, this incident, security forces, in fact, cordoned off the area. There was a search operation going on in the area as well. Still presence of Jammu Kashmir police here. The police is still investigating the case. The CCTV footage is being analyzed, and in a way, security agencies are trying to nab those attackers. Now, this incident has again created an atmosphere of fear for Kashmiri Pandits. We have seen those Kashmiri Pandit employees threatening to leave Kashmir Valley within 24 hours. In fact, in South Kashmir's Anantnag district at Mutton, where this Kashmiri Pandit, in fact, there's a Kashmiri Pandit colony that was constructed for the employees. Those were putting up there, and now they have decided that they will be leaving the valley. There was also earlier, they were these Kashmiri Pandits, then when Rajni Bala, a Hindu female teacher, was killed in this particular district, in Kulgam district. These Kashmiri Pandits have given an ultimatum to Jammu and Kashmir administration, and requested them to decide on their matter within 24 hours. But the administration in Kashmir is not ready to shift these employees to Jammu province, but they are ready to shift these employees to safer locations. In fact, yesterday we have seen directions coming out from the Rajbhavan and being issued for the officials of Jammu and Kashmir administration, directing them that to shift those employees to safer places. In fact, place them at district headquarters in a way to instill confidence and among these Kashmiri Pandits. Now, this particular target killing happening today in Kulgam district has again created an atmosphere of fear for Kashmiri Pandits, and now we'll have to see, because meetings are underway, in fact, in Srinagar as well. Tomorrow we are expecting Home Minister Amit Shah will be chairing a meeting in New Delhi. LG Manoj Sinha, DGP Jammu and Kashmir Police. In fact, we are being told that the National Security Advisor will be also participating in that particular meeting. What comes out, what will be decided, what will be the future course of action for the of Jammu and Kashmir administration of central government on this particular issue, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, absolutely, Sahil. You know, all eyes are now set on the crucial high-level meeting that will be chaired by Union Home Minister Amit Shah tomorrow in the national capital, where he will be reviewing the current ground situation in terms of security in the Wali. Thank you for picking up all those ground updates for us. And time to slip into a very short break now, but don't go anywhere, for we'll be back soon.